Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So I want to finish up week 1, and then we can start our week 2, since I'm a little behind here on our little journal. And I wanted to show you something. Now, I may stop talking while I'm working on this. It's okay. My sound didn't go out. Your sound didn't go out. I'm just going to work. But I want to show you something. If you don't have an ink in the color that you want, you can use a Tombow. Or you can use something like... Let me get these pens out. Or you can use a paint marker, like your T-Stros. I wouldn't probably use something that big because it might bleed. I would use something like your Posca, it may be a number 1, to go around the edges. And I know my desk is filling up. To go around the edges, and I want to show you what I'm doing. This is a Tombow number 977, and this is a coffee color. And I just take this, and my friend Amy over at, you all hear me talk about her all the time, and I will make sure to link. Now, look at the edge of that. I'll make sure to ink her site below, of course, because this is gratitude. This is the hashtag Gratitude Journals 2525 challenge. And she told me that sometimes she does this on small pieces. And lo and behold, Amy, you are a freaking genius, girl. Look at this. I'm usually getting my oxides and inks all over my hands. Now, to prove it to you, look at my hand. My fingernails, they're covered in oxides today. I mean, this girl is a freaking genius. Who else out there does this? Who else out there in Junk Journal world does this? Amy told me this when we were chatting one day. And she and I do little things together. Oh my gosh. There. So let's tuck him back in there. So we're going to work on this page today. And this little sunflower would be a royal pain in the patootie. But I thought, I'm going to try this. So there. Can you see the difference? This one's a little easier to see the difference. And I'm using the same color. And all the ones that I picked out, and I'm going to share the colors with you that I picked out. They match all the oxides that I use all the time. The Vintage Photo, the Scorched Timber, the Gathered Twigs, the gray that I use, the smoked, what is it? The frayed burlap. What is it? Shoot, where's the smoke? It's a gray. It's called a smoke. I know it's over here, you guys. Here, in the hickory smoke. Okay, all right, you're coming over here where you belong. All of these colors match the colors that I use. I think this is the old. I think this is the linen color. And the numbers that I use are the 947. Now these are Tombow markers, and you can get them individually either online. You can buy them in a set if you choose. I have a big set of them. Or you can buy them individually, like at Michael's, almost said Joann's, Michael's, any other art place. 947, 992, N55, 910, and 977. And I'll write these numbers down for you and put them below if you all would like to use them. For those of you that, are just starting out, beginners, I know that, supplies are expensive. I know when I first started, I didn't have anything. So I just used, honestly, to be quite honest with you, I used my, what's it called? I used my acrylic paints. I mixed my acrylic paints. I did have gesso because I was a painter. So I mixed acrylic paints in my gesso. And that was what I used. So I could mix up my gesso. And then I would put, look at the cutest thing. I would have colored gesso, any color that I wanted. And I would use that on things. Now, I really like this in these little teeny tiny small places, because even my little tiny finger bibbly bops, I can't get in there. And with these little, come on, straighten up. These little sunflowers, I can't get all these little places. That was what made me think of using these. Okay, so now that I've told you all this, I am going to be quiet and get to work. Okay, now I want to make this page on my second page in my book of week 1. I want to make it a pocket page. So I want to put this here, and then down here I want to make a pocket, because you can write on the back of this, and this is big enough that I can go on and use my ink. But I want to make a pocket down here, and to make my pocket, I want to use, okay, I don't want to use you guys, so get back in there. I don't want you guys. I want to use some of our solid paper that we were using. And I think we were using, here it is. I think we were using this color. But I don't want to use that one. Over here we were using, here it is, the green. But I don't really like the green with that one. I particularly like the blue better, but the blue does not go with it. Yeah, it looks all right. Okay, so let's cut us a little piece. Oops, sorry about that, you guys. So, I know it's upside down. And then we have to also do, alrighty, so I want to round these top corners just a little bit, like that. Okay. I'm going to put that piece there. Okay, so that tucks in there very nicely. Now, we will also do some decorating. I think I want some sunflowers on here. Okay. Now, I can't guarantee that's straight because I'm not sure if it is or not. Now, this little guy, now I've been trying to decide, do I want to put, what do I want to put over here? Kind of like, you know, a little lift up thing. And I have someplace, oh, there it is right there. Now I just, oh, there they are in front of me. You silly woman. I have those little sunflowers everywhere. All right. Let's get these off of my table here. Get the ones I just did. All right. I want, all right, so you're going to come in here. I'm just not real fond of that. Where's that little guy I just inked? I want a little tuck down here. But I also want something over here. Where are those ones I just inked? Oh my gracious sakes, you guys. Okay, hold on. Okay. Here we go. Now, I want to decorate the bottom of this, and I want to put something behind there. Ah, there's the little guy. But I don't know if I want to mimic that for that little tag, or I want to repeat that sentiment. Make sure you can see that. Or if I want to repeat that sentiment down there. Remember, because out front here, it says perfectly imperfect. And there is that little sentiment again. I think I want to use that one and repeat that one as the little tuck. So I think, now I want to leave a little bit around it, but I want to, you know, just kind of go like that. You know, just kind of want to give it a little bit of a border, but nothing that's really I don't even know how to describe it. Nothing that is intentional, I guess. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense or not. Okay. And then I want to just tuck it right there. I don't want to tuck it. I just want to put it. And I'm going to put right across the bottom just the tiniest little line of glue in only one side. I'm just going as thin as I possibly can. And I'm just going off to one side. And I have this little tiny piece of lace that I've been putting here behind everything because I keep losing it. And I just kind of want to stick it behind it like that. Okay, that's the wrong side. So I just want to maybe put a little bit right there. Swipe that off because I want to put this right here. And I put the glue on the wrong side is what I did. And I just want to lay that cockadoodled. And I just want to lay that right there. And if something describes me, it's that sentiment. Perfectly imperfect. Because you can't get any more imperfect than me. Now, on here, I've been wanting to put something on here. And I have been searching and searching and searching. And I just can't find what it is I'm looking for. Nothing is making me happy. Nothing is making me happy. And I keep going back, like all these little critters. I think they're just precious and darling, but they're just not making me happy. So after we finish with the day, I'm just going to put a button on there because that was my very first thought, and that is what's going to make me happy. So this was week 1. In week 1, I've designated as Know Your Worth. Now, you can choose whatever you want to go in whatever order you want. Pam chose her order, and I'm choosing mine. And I could be going in the wrong order, but this is my order. Know Your Worth. So for week 2, created with a purpose. That's the order that I'm going in. And it is going right here. And I made this page into tags. And I'm going to put a page here that is just like this one so that you can pull it down and you can have some writing space. And I just collaged on it. And as you can see, there's some little spaces that are, kind of hanging out. Well, I'm going to cover underneath them with some of these bigger... Okay, that's too big, but I think I do like that. With some of my bigger, oh, that's perfect. Some of my bigger, here, like this. I'm just going to put some of my bigger sunflowers there to kind of take up the space. Let's put that. And maybe that. Put that there with maybe that, because that will show up underneath everything. Now I just used glue on this. I didn't do anything else, and because this is just kind of round. It really doesn't have any shape to it. I'm just using my dauber, and I'm just very quickly bouncing it off of the edges here. And I am going to put this just like that. So as you pick this up, that is underneath it. And I'm going to put this right here on the edge, just like that. Now, I want to make sure that I'm not putting that in the wrong spot. Okay, so this is, that was week 1. This would be week 2, which is the week that we're in. So then flip it over. Week 3. Now, this page here is going to get added right in the middle. Okay, make today great. Now, where is my... Okay, here is my remember your why. And you are enough is my big one. Here. I think tomorrow needs you is going to be week 4. Oh, be original. Be original is week 4. Okay? Be original is going to be week 4. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark on here 4. And I'm going to try and get everything together that I'm going to, that's going to go with that. Okay, so and this is number 3. That way I'm not losing things. And I'm not confusing the things that I need. Now, do I have this stuff together? Because each of them is going to have a pull down page. Okay, so let's put these together. Okay, so there's that one. Now, didn't I just write 3 on that? Okay, I'll figure them out. Okay, created with purpose is going to go here. And this page, remember the page that we glued together and it had that little seam in it? Well, I glued that page plus the page next to it. I cut this page a little bit shorter so that I could create 2 pockets. So this, we're going to be creating 2 little tags. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe some of our little critters to put on the little pockets. Put on those little pockets with some of these. Just any of these, really. It just really doesn't matter. With maybe some of the sunflowers. And we're going to create some little tags that are going to go there. Now, I think these fit. Ah, they do. They fit. So we're going to make some little sunflowers that fit on here. Or no, we're not going to make the sunflowers. We're going to put the sunflowers. Oh, my goodness sakes. Yeah, I know. My brain gets a little crazy when I get excited. Okay, so they're going to fit in there like that. And because they're already cut, so I'm just going to maybe tuck him in there to peek out. And tuck the bunny so the bunny peeks out like that. So they're just kind of peeking out at us. But I don't want them to go over the edge too far. Okay. So I want that to go there. And then let's put I mean, it doesn't matter if these match your pages. It just doesn't matter. Sometimes I just get caught up in things and it just does not matter. Okay, so on here for our strips, we're going to use different colors. And then over here, we're going to just decorate our page since we're going to have over here. But I think we're maybe going to have a couple here of two, maybe one or two pockets because of these. I don't want to cover up these little guys. And we're going to use... Okay, that one is too big. Let's find a smaller one. Let's see. Oh, that one's way too big. He covers up the poor little guy. So let's see if I have I know I have a smaller one. Pam was just fabulous with these. Let's maybe trim this off on the edge here a little bit. And we can have some. We'll have a little tuck here. And then we'll have, okay, let's find, and that one says stronger than the storm. Okay, so maybe we'll have that one as a little tuck up there. Now, we have all these little things here. Now, where's our sunflower up there? For up there. If we have to, we'll just cut one in half. I've lost it. No telling what I've done with it. I think I probably have. There's the little one. Well, I'll just cut one out and cut it, and I'll cut it in half. So we're not going to worry about that right now. So I think behind these, we're going to put that, like that, and then we're going to, and that's just going to be glued to the page, like that. Or maybe I like that better. Maybe I like that a lot better. Let's maybe put this in the middle. I think I might like that better. And we'll make this a little tuck down here. Let's see, where's the other little one? Is that a little one? It is. So let's maybe... Now, I might have a punch about that size. I will look. If I do, if I have a punch that size, I'm thinking I'm going to put it right up in here, right behind the butterfly's wings. And we're going to put that butterfly right there with our other little animals. Now, let me see the other little animals here. Oh, here's a smaller one. Maybe this smaller one might be better. Oh, I think that one might be better. I think that one might be better. And then I can punch that one. Or I don't know, you guys, now I've got myself all in a fluster. Now these, of course, are going to stay flat, and then you would just tuck behind them. And these little animals are going to stay flat, and your tags are going to go behind them. Okay, so they're going to stay flat, and the tags are going to tuck behind them. So they're always going to be there. So that little bunny rabbit might not be a good choice for there because of his little ears. His little ears, I think, are going to get... But I think this little raccoon, which I adore, See, he's a little bit too big. My little grandson was a little raccoon for Halloween. Of course, he didn't get to do anything because he's too little. So he hung out with us at my son's house. And he was a hoot. You see, his little head fits just fine, but his little ears stick over the book. Let's see how far. Oh, they don't stick out too far, so he'll be okay. All right, so let's get those glued in. Let's get him glued in. All right, let's take these tags out, and let's get these glued in. Now, I'm not going to cut them because they're going to need, or maybe I do. Maybe I do need to cut them. Maybe I do need to cut them. All right, so I'm going to cut them, this little guy right here at that bend. Sorry, little man. Okay, now, I want his little eyes to show, but I want his head flush. So I'm going to make a little mark right there so I don't put glue too far. So I'm putting glue down here, right up to there, and then I'm also going to put the glue back here. Okay, now I'm going to slide him in my pocket. And I don't want him up. I want him down. Uh-oh. No, 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 Lori. Why did you do that? You goofy girl. I know you all were yelling at me, weren't you? You didn't yell loud enough. No, you didn't. Don't put glue on the back. I heard you. I heard you just about the time I stuck him in there. Don't put glue on the back, Lori. All right, let's take him out. Now, see? Okay, hold on. I got to get him out of there. Get out of there. Okay, I've got to get that unstuck. So let me get this unstuck. Let me get that wiped off. And let me get this wiped off. If you're going to do this, only put glue on the front. Ah, you silly woman. Okay, so I need to let this one dry here. Make sure it doesn't stick. Oh my gracious, what in the world was I thinking? Let me get a piece of this. What was I thinking? Have you ever heard the song? Oh, what was I thinking? That's where my brain is right now. Okay, let's open this back up. And let's slide that in. I guess crafting in my jammies probably isn't a good thing, huh? I need to go put my clothes on. It's too early in the morning for these shenanigans. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a minute. And we're going to try this one more time. All right, so I'm going to let this one dry. Sorry about that, little man. Okay, where is our bunny? Okay, we want those. Ugh. All right, let's check out our bunny rabbit. Right there. Okay, right under his nose. Okay, only on the front, Lori. Only on the front. Goofy girl. Okay, right there. Okay, so then our tag will slide in right there behind her. Just like that. Of course, our tag will be decorated. Like that. And our tag is going to have like this. And probably one of these on it. Now, let's see if you can see his little ears. No, just the very tip of them, so that'll be all right. Now, let's make sure I am not sticking in there. Okay, we're not sticking. Good. All right, little man, let's put you back in. Yeah, you're dry. Goodness sakes. Okay, so I am just putting this back behind him just to make sure nothing comes out. So there are our two little friends in our pockets. Like that. For our tags. Like that. And I think this is the... How does this go? I think it goes like this. I think I'm going to take this, or one of these, maybe this one, and I'm going to cut, no, it needs to be bigger. I think I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to cut it in half, and use it over here for our drop down. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this one, since I've completely lost the other one. Sorry, little man. I didn't mean to take your feet and then glue your head in the wrong place. Okay, so there's the tag for it. All right, and we need to check the time real quick. Okay, oh, it's only been 30 minutes. That's not too bad. 30 minutes of chaos. All right, so here is... All right, this is going to be for our drop down. So let's get our drop down. Let's get our little drop down put in. Now, I want this done, and it's going to go there. Okay, so this is going to go in there. Oh, yeah, that fits very well. Let's make sure on the bunny rabbit. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Now, also right in here is where we're going to sew in. I think that was the spot, yes. Right in here is where I'm going to be sewing in just a little journal of maybe 3-4 pages that some additional journaling can be done if the recipient chooses to do so, because I think I will probably give this little journal away. All right, I think I'm going to use these two colors. I like these two colors. Oops. Okay. I think I want it to go just a smidgen wider. And I'm just going to tear it. And I'm going to do the same with this. I'm just going to use a little button. This piece here looks like wallpaper, and it is just lovely. Actually, all of them do. They all look like wallpaper, and they are just lovely. Pam did such a wonderful job on this kit. It is just a lovely kit. Okay. Now, I think I want this piece on top. Now, I'm just inking up these white areas here, and I'm going to do the same on this one as we did on the other side. And I'm just using gathered twigs. I think it's, I don't know, it doesn't matter what colors you use. I just don't want the white showing. Let's see, that one's already torn. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. I want it a little bit darker on this page since we're over here. And I'm going to take whatever's left. Oh, that needs glued down. And I'm just going to run it over this page. And then I'm going to run it over this page. Just to kind of take away some of the lightness. Okay. Now, this one goes on top. So, I want to fold them up a little bit. And then fold that page back. And if I have to, I can trim them. Right there, I'll trim it. And I'm going to do the same with this page. Except I'm going to fold it up probably a little bit more. Everybody has their own way of doing these. In my bigger journals, I always make sure that they're folded a certain way, and I make sure they're even. And but I do make sure that there are no white edges. Okay. Especially if I'm using cardstock. But when I'm using my other pages, they're vintage pages. They're usually book pages, things like that. So I don't have to worry about white showing. Okay. So I'm going to stack these like this. And I'm going to pull them down here a little bit. Now, I want to staple this. Okay. Oh, my top fold didn't meet. All right, so let's refold this top fold. There we go. Now it'll meet. Now, where did our half of thing go? Did I lose it again? You guys, today just is not my day. I am telling you, I know I just had it. I just cut it. Oh, I need to glue this down. All right, let's glue that back down. Okay. Let's find it here. I just cut it. All right, if you see it, holler out. Let me know. Tell me. zing me, text me, call me on the phone. I know we just cut it in half. Oh, there it is. See? I knew it was right here. I knew if I just cleaned up my mess, we'd find it. Okay, so I want that to go across there. And then it's going to be just like the other one, except of course it does need to be straight. And then you'll have that too. You have that to write on a little bit. Okay, so let's make sure that that's on straight. And I will put little buttons on these also. Let's make sure that that's on. Now, the reason I do it that way is because now this staple's covered up. And the back of the staple is back there. And then we glue it to the page. And now you don't see the staple. Your fingers don't get caught on it. Your, and smack your, the skin and tear your fingers. Now, if you, you can also use washi tape. If you're not using the kit like this, you can use circles. You can cut circles out with your, with a paper punch. You can cut circles out with a paper punch. I do that all the time. I've used washi tape in the past. I've used fabric. I love using fabric. Fabric is one of my favorites. If you go through my my vintage books, you'll see tons and tons of fabric covering my things like that. You'll just see that everywhere. Because I love using fabric or ribbon or both across these little pull downs like this. Okay, so there we go. Now let's check our little. Oh, good, he didn't stick. Let's check this one. Nope, that one didn't stick. All right, we can pull that out. Phew, that was close. All right, let's put that back in there. Okay, now let's do this page. Okay, so let's go on and do this tag here. Now, if I get hung up on this tag, I am just going to do something else. I'm not going to bip and bop around. I'll just do it off air. No sense having you guys have to watch me piddle and pop around on it. Okay, so on this page, I do think I want some sunflowers, and I kind of had the idea the other day that I kind of wanted to see them almost look like they were growing, but that interfered with my pocket. So, as I was fussing about them, my husband said, well, make them look like they're growing out of the pocket. He is so smart. Men can be so smart. So, I love that idea. Okay. Let's snip these edges. Now I'm staying with the small nip, that number 4 on here, just to keep it small and dainty, but not sharp and just not sharp. Okay, so right between these two little guys sneaking out, I am going to put this little pocket. So another little tag or something can go right there. And at the top, I'm going to have my little sunflowers peeking out like that. Now, they won't do anything. They'll just be there. And I think I have another one, another size. It's going to come up over here. Now, this little tag goes in here. And then I'm going to have another tag coming out over there. So, let's get this down. But the first thing I need to do is to get these little guys down. So, I need to make sure I get these done. So let's get, whoops, ripped you off, didn't I? Let's get these done real quick. Okay. Now, there's one. There's two. Okay, this is going to go this way, and this way. Okay, now let's move these over here for a second. I want this right in the middle, like that. Now, can we get a leaf up on there? Maybe? No, we can't. Way too, it would be way up too tall. So that means I can't get this one up there either. But if I take it off, now I can. Okay, and now that's down. Okay, so now I got one for there. Let me get my tags out. Now, these are store-bought tags, and I'm using them for a specific reason, because I'm too lazy to cut anything else at this point. Okay, let me get a hold of this one, and then this one will go right there. These are just regular craft tag bases. Okay, so here's what we have for week 2. Okay, in week 2 we have Be Original. So my original is my little critters, and there's my 3 tags, and I'll get them decorated. And here is our pull down for that. And here is our page. We have our 3 tags. Now we'll be ready to flip for week 3 and 4. And it will be back here. Now back here, now I still have this page. Here it is. Somewhere. Where did it go? Oh. It's back here somewhere. I have the page that goes in between 3 and 4. There it is. I'm going to be putting in back here to separate page 3 and 4. And I think I'm going to use washi tape to put that page in when I put it in. And I have some fall washi tape that I'm going to use, either that or some fabric. So, happy that you joined me today for this video in our my mindfulness journal. I hope that you're creating one with me, and that you're having some fun. And if you do, don't forget to use the hashtag I think I still have it written in here someplace. Let's see if I do. Here's the information that you can post it with over in Pam at Silver Sparkles on her website. It's hashtag gratitude 2025. And you can post your projects over in Pam's community page for one project a week for a chance to win a journal made by either Pam or Amy from her design team. And they will draw at the end of November, 1st of December. You can watch Pam's launch video for their project, and she'll give you all the information on it. And it's such a cute project. I hope that you join us. Now, you don't have to use the kit to participate. You can use anything you want. I just happened to buy the kit so that I could show it to you. And I hope that you do play along and create your own journal. As you can see, some of my background pages and some of my materials aren't from Pam's kit, especially on my cover. This isn't from Pam's kit. Some of my other things I'll be using for next week aren't from Pam's kit. So feel free to play along and use whatever you have, because it's a lot of fun. And you also feel free to post your projects in my community page, because it is now open again. And that way I can see your projects, and we can share them with everyone there. So I'll be posting mine there, and you can see them. And then feel free to comment and to like and subscribe. And don't forget that I am also trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of December. And so I would appreciate your help in doing that. And until I see you again in our next Ladybug Journal video, ta-ta for now.